All right, the data table part of this should be pretty easy. You're just going to go in and put your headings in for device kilowatts, hours of use, and so forth. When you go through, the only trick is for the kilowatts, the space heater is actually 1,500 watts, the light bulb 60, and the new light bulb 15 watts. You need to move the decimal 3 to the left to convert. But this is simply adding in your hours of use. If you measured in minutes, just divide minutes by 60 and then round that number to a whole number or one or two decimal places. It doesn't matter. Where it gets tricky is in the next three cells where you're going to insert functions. We need to tell the spreadsheet to multiply B2 by C2. So if you type in the number equals and multiply, parentheses, and then write those cells in, you should see them highlighted. That means that it's telling the spreadsheet to take those two numbers and multiply them. Once you enter that information in there by typing it into the f of x column here, you can right click and copy it and then just click and drag and paste it into the next two boxes. And you can just double check to do it right. It obviously should say B3 times C3. And again, I'm getting these numbers, C3 by C3. The cost per week, same thing. We're going to insert a function, but this time we're going to go equals multiply. We're going to tell it to take the kilowatt hours D2, the kilowatt hours is D2, yes, and multiply that by 0.12, which is the cost of electricity. And finally, and then the same thing, copy it, paste it into the next two columns. Finally, for cost per year, we're going to take our cost per week and multiply by 52. So the function is going to be equals multiply E2, comma 52. And again, that's telling the spreadsheet, I want you to take this number in E2 and multiply it by the value 52. So there I have my cost per year. The sum functions are very easy. You can enter that text, or if you go to Insert Function, you can select the sum function and then just highlight these three columns, and it'll know to add those up. The last thing on the data table is to go through, and I'd like you to take these numbers and highlight them and adjust the decimals to 2. Now I already had them pre-adjusted at 2, but these values up here, not that one, these values up here allow you to adjust the number of decimal places. The most appropriate value for cost would be 2 decimal places. Also, you might want to take a look at this column too, and also make it 1 or 2 decimals as well. 2 would be best. The last trick with the table would be to make sure that all your rows are equal. So when you type it in, if the default is not looking good,